Crime Curious is a true crime podcast that takes an in-depth look into real cases through the lens of a trained investigator and former prosecutor turned judge.
If you are sensitive to expletives, anatomical descriptions, and accurate descriptions of crime scenes, this podcast may not be suitable for you.
Welcome to Crime Curious. I'm Charnell.
I'm Megan.
I'm Jason.
Megan, it's lovely to have you back in the studio this week.
I had to work, as you put it, at my work year work.
Delightful.
Yes, your work year work.
I was there so late, so I'm glad you guys started. We would have been here until midnight.
Yep.
My day never ended last Tuesday.
That's what I figured.
Or Wednesday, or today, or most of the week last week.
Most of the time.
I just sleep there now.
Yep. That's what we do.
Easier.
We work and then go to our other work. This is our better work.
This is a fun work.
This is a fun work. So. I'm just going to give a shout out.
They frown upon me drinking at my other job.
That's true.
Same.
Here you're allowed to. Your boss is awesome here.
We're less judged here.
Also, that's ironic because I'm your boss there
Wah, wah.
too. But I'm not as awesome there. That's for sure.
I hate it. It's never going to go away.
Oh, thanks for that sound
You know how when
machine.
you buy your kid a new toy and you just can't wait for the battery to die, and then you're like, oh, it's done. You never tell them you can put new batteries in it or anything.
Yep.
That screw is going to rust shut. It's
Yep.
never going to be able to have a battery replacement.
We're not going to let Brain Beth Jason
Taking
replace
it
the battery
by
on
the
that.
pool.
Yes. If it slips in,
I'm
slips
guessing I can
in.
get another one for $1 somewhere.
Probably.
I'd buy that
But
for
he
$1.
won't. But he won't. He'll forget. He's going to forget.
He'll forget his
We have his old age on our side for that one.
We do. He's senile now.
Anyway.
Happy 50th.
Yay.
Yeah, happy 50th. For the bonus episode, Jason is going to open the gift that, I should say the gifts, the love basket that we put together for you.
We gave you our
Love basket.
Yeah.
Ironically.
And I'm giving a special shout out. I'm coming off from baby snuggle highs because we have a new baby in the family, and he's just perfect. So my nephew and his beautiful wife had a baby yesterday, and I just got to go to the hospital and see him.
I love a brand new baby.
There is nothing
No
like
one's
it.
ruined them yet.
Just pure.
Not society or their parents or their overbearing aunts.
Yes. I did whisper in his ear that if they're mean to him, he just needs to call Auntie Charnell.
And he can come live with you.
Yes, because he is perfect right now. He's 6 pounds of just nothing
Tiny,
but
beautiful little boy. I love it.
Yes,
He's
yes.
adorable.
Give it time.
There's nothing
Oh,
like
I know.
Call me
baby
in 50 years, kid.
Right.
Then for any of you
See how
that are
fucking happy you are then.
watching, then your beautiful baby boy decides he can grow some type of a 1970s porn stash just
Jason,
to annoy his
can
coworkers.
Can you explain the stash that's happening? And then we'll
It's
get
a
to the
mustache.
case.
You've seen him.
Yeah. What I haven't seen in a long time is your chin, and it's startling.
It is.
And I am...
You also know I'm a firm believer that there are only a few people in the world that can pull off a mustache. And it's
I don't
Ron
think- I don't-
Swanson, Magnum P.I.,
Yeah.
and
Tab.
Sam Elliott.
Well,
yeah.
Like,
But
those
I don't
are some
think
mustaches
None
that
of them are
work.
blonde. I don't think blonde mustaches go.
That is gray,
Shut the
man.
fuck up. It's blonde.
That is a gray mustache.
It was blonde.
Okay.
But it's not like gray.
You
gray,
were
but
young.
Like the
We
hair,
were young.
We
Are you going to start
were
this? Oh,
young.
you pulled out like Pat Benatar. I was going to sing a Youngblood song.
Nope.
Never mind.
I think it's time to get on with the case, my
Sure
friends.
is.
Let's stop talking about my fat chin.
So I have
now.
an interesting case for you. We do not cover. I don't know if we ever have, to be honest with you, but we don't hear of a lot of cases coming out of Alaska.
No,
I
I bet
don't
there's a
know.
lot.
I'll bet
there
there's
are.
a lot of
There's
unsolved.
There
indigenous
are bodies everywhere.
crimes,
Well, that too.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the pipeline workers and
Yes.
truckers and the ice road truckers, and like there's just easy ways to go missing.
I
Yeah,
know, I know.
okay.
And I just thought, man, no one recommended this case. I stumbled upon it. So
Recommended by Charnel.
I'm the
Thank you.
recommender today. Very special listener pick today by me.
Okay.
Brought to you by me. Oh, I know. But truly, I did pick it because shout out Alaska.
Sure.
Your shit is cold but beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably nice right now.
What drew my attention was the name of the perpetrator, because I'm sure it could be easily mistaken, but his name is Thomas Bunday.
Oh, instead of Bundy.
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
It's spelled Bunday.
T. Bundy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it's Bunday.
Mr. Bunday.
Yep. For 3 years.
We're going to get corrected. Someone from Alaska is going to tell us it's Bundy, even though it's spelled Bunday.
Bunday. Well, listen, I actually looked for a phonetic. Like, I was looking for that because I thought, okay, is there some sort of connection?
French?
No, it said to pronounce it Bunday. People, I don't, when I do the extra leg of research and it still tells me wrong, there's nothing I can do there. I tried. Cut me some slack. And, if you can do it better, you should. But I'm going to tell you, it doesn't pay well. Okay.
And I can assure you, you don't have as good of friends as Charnell does.
That's right. I 100% know that. There's
As
no
one
way.
Of them just
What'd you do?
wailing on my laptop.
He's an amateur guy.
I'm trying to get my camera higher.
Oh, why? Are you worried about your naked chin?
Yeah.
Do you feel naked all of a sudden?
A little. I feel...
It's like forgetting your underwear, isn't it? When you shave your chin and neck, it's like forgetting your panties.
Look at this. This wasn't here when I had facial hair.
No, it was.
The fuck is this?
It was.
He's pulling on his gizzard right now is basically what he's doing.
Looks awful.
You got to stop, man.
Oh, my God. I'm done.
okay.
I have to go home and
Grow a
cry.
beard.
And grow a
I have to go
beard?
home and grow my beard and cry.
Hey, one of our Patreons sent us the furry panties. They're in the cupboard over there. If you want to just hang it from your chin.
Maybe
you can
for the
do
brain
that.
bath.
Yeah.
Or maybe for the bonus.
The furry... Yeah, and these
Let's
people
not
listening are
do
like,
this to
furry
these people.
panties.
Panties, I
Yeah,
know.
we won't go there.
Okay, well, on to the case. For 3 years, Alaska State Troopers kept a full-time investigator on a disturbing cluster of cases. 5 young women who vanished and were later found murdered. The first case to set everything in motion was the disappearance of 19-year-old Fairbanks resident Galinda, if you've seen
Galinda?
From Wicked.
Galinda Soderman, who went missing on August 29th, 1979. Her husband, Airman Jerry Soderman, was the one who reported her missing. When he came home from the base that day, he found their 18-month-old daughter safe in her crib, but Galinda was gone. Jerry told investigators that their marriage was solid and that nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Still, officers were very uneasy, and this is a quote from Sergeant Samuel Bernard. Later, he said, "His actions and attitude made us a little bit suspicious, but Jerry agreed to take a polygraph to clear himself. He failed it.
Uh-oh.
So that put him as suspect number 1.
Not
End
admissible in court, but still.
Yep. But now
Hinky.
it is hinky.
Reasonable suspicion.
And now you know where the sergeants are, right?
I do.
I mentioned Sergeant Samuel Bernard. There's another sergeant on the case, Jim McCann, as well. And Jim McCann said, listen, once he failed the polygraph, for us, that really escalated. He was the one that reported her missing. Their 18-month-old daughter was safe in her crib, but she was gone. And then he fails a polygraph. You know,
Yeah,
that doesn't
it's not
look
adding
good.
up great.
Mm-hmm.
You're the top of the suspect list at this point.
Right. But as we all know as true crime enthusiasts, suspicion isn't enough.
Nope.
And what the problem is that they don't have physical evidence and they really don't have a motive. There is
You have a
nothing
missing
that
person.
tied Jerry to Galinda's disappearance. Bernard said, quote, there was just no hard evidence connecting Jerry to the disappearance, and they searched for a month with no results, end quote. 2 months later, in October, the case took a grim turn. Rabbit hunters near Moose Creek, a remote area about 23 miles south of Fairbanks where the family lived, and roughly 8 miles north of the 8 miles south of North Pole, found a decomposing body partially buried in snow near a gravel pit. It was Galinda. Her injuries were brutal. There was significant trauma to her face, along with clear signs of strangulation. She had also been shot in the head. Investigators recovered a single .38 caliber bullet at the scene, and the autopsy confirmed that she'd been strangled and shot in the forehead, but there was no evidence of a sexual assault. Nothing about the crime pointed to a motive. It looked random, opportunistic, and senseless.
It looks like it matches a spouse.
Right.
Honestly, because there's not typically sexual assault, but it is real graphic, intense. The stabbing shows there's an emotional connection and anger.
If you're just trying to kill somebody and you have a gun in your hand,
you just shoot them till they're dead.
Why do you strangle them too and beat them in the face?
Beat them in the face?
And we don't know yet whether the strangulation and the beating. I mean, of course we do. It was before he shot her in the head.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Yeah, so this is looking like it would be a significant other of some kind.
Yeah. I mean, this certainly didn't help Jerry's case, but at the same token, there's no physical evidence linking him to it either.
Okay.
So while detectives are still working on Galinda's case, another Fairbanks resident disappeared. On June 13th, 1980, 11-year-old, so that's a significant difference in age, right? Because Galinda was a 19-year-old. So an 11-year-old girl named Doris O-Ring went out for a bike ride and she never came home. This is every parent's nightmare. Police couldn't say whether Doris's disappearance was connected to Galinda's murder, but the timing and proximity raised alarms. So remember that it was just August of 1979 that Galinda went missing and then 2 months later was found murdered. This is June 1980 that Doris does. Doris's brother told investigators that a few days before she vanished, she had been talking. He had seen Doris talking to a man in a blue car. He described the stranger as having a GI-style haircut and wearing what looked like a military uniform.
Isn't her husband military too?
Yes, Galinda's husband was. A description that could match countless Air Force personnel in the area too, right? But
We're clearly around an Air Force base here.
Right.
Yes. As Doris's brother worked with police to create a full, identikit of the man he'd seen, right? Investigators once again turned their attention to Jerry Soderman. They asked him to take a second polygraph. This time it was administered by an expert instead of a police sergeant. According to Sergeant Bernard, the examiner quickly spotted a problem. The polygraph operator said, "This guy's got a random heart murmur, and he'll never be able to pass any polygraph test." Which the first...
Like, if you knew that in advance, if he knew that, like, my heart murmur means I won't pass or fail.
Lots of heart and blood pressure issues can potentially rule you out.
If you knew that in advance, then you go and commit a crime, be like,
I bet he didn't.
It's not admissible.
He may not have, or he did, and he told this polygraph expert, "Hey, I've got a heart murmur," and since he's an expert, he knows the machine, whereas the sergeant that was administering it the first time didn't know. Because they do ask your medical history. And I'm wondering if the sergeant that administered it before didn't.
I mean...
This is why they're not admissible.
Right.
Yes, exactly, Megan.
Prosecutors use them as tools. And so do defense attorneys when they do private poly.
Yeah, and investigators to help guide them.
They are helpful.
I'm just picturing Double D trying to administer a polygraph.
God, he's adorable.
Isn't he, though?
With no evidence...
suit.
With no evidence linking Jerry to Galinda's murder or Doris's disappearance, he was officially cleared. And with no suspect in either case, detectives were forced back to square one. Over the next year, more young women began turning up dead near the area surrounding the Eielson Air Force Base. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Maybe it's Eielson. The first, tomato, people, okay? Just remember, come to Michigan and pronounce all of our weird names.
You can't.
The first.
Michigan and Louisiana have the weirdest names of towns in the United States, in my opinion.
The first was 20-year-old Marlene Peters. She vanished on January 31st, 1981. So this is the next one after Doris. After trying to hitchhike from Fairbanks to Anchorage, 5 weeks later,
5 whole weeks?
Yeah. 16-year-old Wendy Wilson disappeared.
Okay. Now it's feeling serial killery.
Mm-hmm. Now we're getting in. We went from almost a year to now they're getting months and now weeks.
The age doesn't seem to be consistent.
No. Well, they're all between the ages of 11 and 20. So far, Marlene is 20.
Right.
We've heard.
Wife. Okay, so she's a young wife. She's only 20. Okay. But still, there's a big difference typically in a demographic where you have somebody targeting 11, 12, preteen, teenagers to a 20-year-old woman.
Yep. So far, we have 11, 19, 20, and 16.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe 11's just at the low end of that.
Perhaps.
That's the only prepubescent one. The rest of them are definitely.
I'm wondering if she looked
older,
more like 15.
Yeah.
You know,
as a mom of a 12-year-old that looks 16.
Yes.
Or if the 16, 19, and 20-year-old looked young.
Younger. Exactly, Jason. Yeah. Very good point.
'Cause I'm going to guess when you were 19, you looked 14.
Probably
100%. No, I know. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I was
that's what I'm
I was
imagining.
legitimately carded up until 39, 40 years old.
And she's still mourning that loss.
I am. I really
Just
am.
took a couple years.
I got carded the other day. I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Did the gray mustache give it away? You
said it was blonde.
19-year-old's like, I know what I'll do to fool them. Put on a gray mustache and thin out my hair and gain 25 pounds.
There you go. That'll do it.
Am I 21 now, dumbass?
Wow, he seems angry about this age change.
He was upset because he had to move to get his wallet out of his back pocket.
Continue.
And it hurt.
Well, we know that serial killers can also just be opportunistic.
Yes.
So it could have been they were just isolated women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're in the Alaskan wilderness.
Mm-hmm. So 16-year-old Wendy, she'd been on her way to the Olp residence to visit her boyfriend who was staying there.
Oh.
Mrs. Olp, O-L-P.
Oh,
Yep.
I thought you meant like Ope, like the Michigan, excuse me.
No,
Sorry, I got to get by.
Not O-P-E.
Oh.
It's O-L-P.
Olp.
Yep. Mrs. Olp later told police that she had offered Wendy a ride shortly before Wendy vanished. Then, on March 3rd, 1981, so this was January 31st, so when Wendy vanished, March 3rd, 1981, searchers found Marlene Peters' partially decomposed body. Now, Marlene was the 20-year-old who vanished in January. And then it was 5 weeks later that Wendy vanished. I'm sorry, I had to retrace my timeline there. Her injuries, so Marlene's injuries, matched those of Galinda Sodeman. She had been strangled and shot in the head. A few months later, May 16th, 1981, 18-year-old Lori King went missing. Her remains were discovered that October in 1981 near the same airbase, close to where Wendy Wilson's body had also been found. All three victims had been killed in the same way. As Sergeant McCann explained, this person would strangle them first, and then he would shoot them in the face.
Okay.
The pattern sent fear rippling through the community. With multiple victims found near the base, investigators began to consider a chilling possibility. The killer might be stationed at the Air Force. The idea that a serial murderer could be hiding among the military personnel was terrifying. I also remembered that we forgot to shake the gree-gree, so let's do that now so we don't have any recording problems, people.
I was just going to ask Megan if her laptop mic was muted or not.
Huh. Is it? Is all well with our recording equipment?
No, mine was not
No,
muted.
it was not.
But it wasn't making a weird noise. Do you think that messed everything up?
Oh, the sound will be a problem, so I will have to dub us over. It'll just take longer on editing.
Son of a bitch.
It's because we didn't shake the gree-gree. This is what
It happened
happens.
simultaneously.
Yep. This is what happens,
17
people.
minutes in.
Okay. Damn. And, you know,
17th.
I might leave this explanation in just so the audience can see why we shake the gree-gree.
Yeah.
Because shit goes wrong, people, when we do not start off with our good juju.
In my defense, usually when I don't click mute, it gives a really loud, awful noise at the beginning, and it did not do that.
It did not.
Do you click it 3 times?
Mm-hmm.
If you click it more than twice, you're just playing with it.
Jason. But this is why I record us using 2 different devices so that I can just dub our lip sync when needed, people. So if it looks off on the video, I did my best, okay? I'm no
Charnell
professional.
can't see what we're doing, you guys.
I can't. I have my notes up. So what are you doing?
You'll see.
Okay.
It'll be a
We're
surprise.
lip syncing an argument.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. Thanks for making my job so much easier upon editing.
I'm just going to say, if you've ever seen old school Godzilla, you get an idea.
Okay,
Yeah, it was
wonderful.
Poorly dubbed.
I'll enjoy that later during editing. Anyway, okay. So here we are troopers launched a stakeout operation around the base, hoping to catch the killer's movements. At the same time, detectives reached out to the FBI profilers at Quantico. The profile they received described the offender as a white male between 18 and 35, likely single, with no children, no girlfriend, and no steady job. According to Sergeant Bernard, the FBI believed that the killer was not military. The conclusion threw investigators off balance. Up to that point, they had been focused almost entirely on the idea that an airman was responsible. After the Quantico consult, detectives ran a DMV search, but it produced no leads. Then they contacted the Office of Special Investigations at the base to ask whether any airmen had shown troubling behavior towards women. So the OSI provided 3 names. 2 of the men fully cooperated when questioned. The third, Thomas Richard Bunday, refused. His unwillingness to cooperate immediately put him at the center of the investigation.
It does, but he's not legally obligated.
No.
And he could lawyer up right away. That's what any good defense attorney would tell their clients to do, just being the devil's advocate here.
Yep. But Bunday didn't match the FBI profile at all. He was married. He had 2 children, and he worked as an electronics instructor on the base. But he did drive a blue car, the same type of vehicle that Doris O-Ring's brother remembered seeing when his sister was speaking to a stranger shortly before she vanished. Thomas Richard Bunday was born in Nashville, Tennessee on September 28, 1948. He was the younger of 2 children, with his brother Ralph being 15 years older. So can you imagine having a 15-year-old and finding out you're pregnant? I mean, it happens.
Ask your parents.
Okay.
Oh, no, my sister's 10, 10 and 7, but that was intentional. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was my sister that was the surprise.
Oh, okay.
I was planned.
This explains so much.
That's what they told you, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, I know it. His childhood was marked by instability and fear. His father, a World War II veteran, struggled with mental illness and often lashed out aggressively at both his wife and his youngest children. I mean his children, but especially his youngest son, Thomas. When Bunday's father died in 1963, Thomas refused to attend the funeral. He hated his father, and he disappeared for several days. Despite being unpopular with many classmates, he was known as a strong student, sociable, friendly, and generally optimistic. So there were some classmates that probably thought he was a dick.
I think I had some of those too.
Sure. After graduating high school in 1966, he married his high school sweetheart. A year later, he joined the United States Air Force and eventually rose to the rank of technical sergeant. During the late 1960s and early 1970s, he served in Southeast Asia. While he was deployed, his wife gave birth to a son fathered by another man.
Oops.
But Thomas stayed in the marriage, and the couple later had a daughter together. But the infidelity left deep cracks in the relationship. In the mid-1970s, he was transferred to the Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska. So that's how he ends up in Alaska. During that time, he began seeing a psychotherapist due to mounting stress and emotional exhaustion between his job, his marriage, raising kids, one of which is not his own. For the next 2 years, the murders in Fairbanks stopped. Some locals believed the killer had died or moved away. Detectives, however, kept their eyes on Thomas. With no physical evidence tying him to the crimes, they compiled photographs of personnel who had transferred out of the Air Force Base.
Yeah, but this is a really good reason for them to continue their suspicions, because upon being asked to come in for questioning, all of a sudden, these murders stop.
Yep.
So you're like, someone is tipped off. You can say they moved or some event happened to stop it, but the event that happened might have been an investigation.
Yes, absolutely.
Fear of getting caught. But a good psychopath, a good killer, is not going to be able to give it up completely because impulse is going to take over.
Right. And that's how they're serial killers. They don't have impulse control.
Right.
So, like I said, when Doris O-Ring's brother, I hadn't said that yet. with what I was trying to repeat was they compiled photographs of personnel who had transferred out of the Air Force Base. Now, when Doris O-Ring's brother reviewed the images, he immediately identified Thomas Bunday as the man he'd seen talking to his sister the day she disappeared from the blue car.
Is he an identifiable person? Like, is there something about his look?
No, I wouldn't say there's anything remarkable about him. No.
You know, historically, there can be problems with police lineups or photo lineups, but he's saying, yep, without a doubt, 100%, that was the dude.
Yep. Now, Sergeant Bernard said, we thought that he might have been the murderer, but we still didn't have physical evidence. So what we really need here is a confession.
Well, we all want those.
Right.
Yeah. It does make your job easier.
Sure does. By this time, Thomas had transferred to Shepherd Air Force Base in Wichita Falls, Kansas, which is why his photograph was shown to Doris O-Ring's brother, because they showed them all of the people who had transferred out, right? And he was working as an instructor there. So investigators traveled to Texas in March 1988, and they questioned him over several days.
Texas or Kansas?
Texas. And did I say Wichita Falls, Kansas?
You did.
I'm sorry, guys. It's Wichita Falls, Texas. It says it right here in my notes.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a Wichita Falls,
I don't think there
Texas.
is. I thought. Did you? I think my brain just automatically inserted Kansas.
It must have.
I would have. I'm sorry. I thought that was normal.
Yep. Nope. Sorry. My notes clearly say Texas all throughout this, and so my bad. That was super weird how brains work.
Oh, we forgot to shake the gree-gree.
That's right. This whole thing's going to be muckered up. So investigators traveled to Texas in March 1988, and they questioned him over several days. Following advice from FBI behavioral experts, detectives filled the interview room with photos of the victims, along with pictures of Thomas and his car. They secretly recorded every conversation on the reel-to-reel tape, and Sergeant McCann approached him gently, trying to build rapport. This is a quote from him. I said, "So where do you come from? Were you a good kid?" He goes, "Well, I'd get into some trouble. I'd like to throw gas on cats and light them on fire."
That's something you admitted to law enforcement?
I collect rocks, spores, molds, and funguses and set cats on fire.
Defense attorneys everywhere like, no, man, no.
This
is why you hire an attorney.
There's the sniff test.
Don't say that.
For Sergeant McCann,
I am not a murderer. I just light pussycats on fire.
Yep.
It's not going to go over well. I also kick geese and bite babies. I don't like any of it.
Bite babies.
Bite babies. What he said next was, "That's something pretty evil that a lot of serial murderers do."
Yes.
End quote. So Sergeant McCann's
Bunday said that?
Yes.
Yeah. He's bragging.
I might have serial killer tendencies.
I think this is an ego-y thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And he's testing it a little. He's probably getting off on this shit.
Very possible. The interviews were carefully structured to coax a confession, just as the FBI behavioral experts had advised Sergeant McCann. On the fourth day, instead of admitting anything, Thomas handed McCann a note. It said, quote, "I really liked you guys, and I've enjoyed talking with you, but I didn't do those things," end quote.
Do what? Do what things, Thomas?
Do what things, Thomas? Detectives secured a warrant to search his home and impounded his vehicle. I think, Jason, that he was probably referring to the victims being their pictures. Remember, their pictures were hung in the interrogation room. And
it does tip you off when you walk into a room filled with dead bodies, photographs of your victims, and then you have to
and your face and your car.
Right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So detectives secured a search warrant to search his home and impounded his vehicle, collecting hair samples, ammunition, and other potential evidence. As they wrapped up, Thomas told them, "I'm going to come by and see you tomorrow." And McCann later said, "We just flexed our muscles and it worked." The next morning, Thomas finally broke.
Oh, okay.
He told investigators that Doris O-Ring's body was still on the Air Force Base in Alaska. He said that he took her through the security gate. She was already dead. How? I have no idea. But he admitted that he strangled Doris before shooting her and confessed that he had killed the other 4 victims in the same way.
How do you get a corpse onto an Air Force base?
I don't know. I looked.
In his car?
possibly. I
mean,
yeah,
they know him. He worked there.
So they're not, because he's an instructor. Right. Remember, he's an instructor.
They're not going to check his trunk in his car every time he goes on
base. They didn't.
But still.
That's true. But I did look to see if he said any more as to exactly how he did that. But when questioned about the March 22nd murder of Cassandra Goodwin, another person that went missing, he refused to take responsibility.
How old was she?
Cassandra Goodwin was in the same age, I didn't make note of it. I'm sorry.
I just didn't know if she was a child or, because he seems to be taking responsibility for the 20-year-old, for the adults.
Yes. Well, Doris was 11. Doris was the 11-year-old.
Never mind. So she's also probably smaller, maybe.
Well, yeah,
to fit in the trunk and stuff. I apologize deeply. I was thinking that was the 20-year-old woman, but she was found.
For whatever reason, I forgot to write down, or I forgot to make note of her age.
Okay.
And the thing is, though, is that he won't, he admitted to Doris's, he admitted to the other 4 victims, but he won't admit to Cassandra. He told investigators that his psychological issues and sexual compulsion were the driving force behind the murders that he did admit to. But what's interesting is that the very first murder,
no evidence.
There was no evidence of a sexual assault at all.
We don't know that his sexual acts necessarily included something that would leave evidence.
Any sort of DNA evidence, right.
We always think of sexual assaults, even posthumously, as like violent, penetrating rapes, and they're not. Right. Sexual assault can occur in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm.
It's possible that he just fondled them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And this is the early 80s, so we don't have a lot of that science like we do now to do all the fingerprinting and all that stuff, and DNA testing. Despite the confessions, Alaska detectives had no authority to arrest him in Texas without a warrant. And until they secured one, he walked out of the station a free man. So can you imagine what that must have felt like for them, knowing they're letting a serial murderer out at this time? Remember, it's early 80s.
I know, but you can hold somebody.
I would have...
If they confess to a crime?
Yeah. I would have thought. This is the report that the sergeant... oh my gosh, what's his name? McCann was saying. This is his explanation.
Again, people do things differently, but when we have a situation like this occur here, we would hold them. We would let the home state know so that they could get a warrant drafted, and then they would be considered a fugitive and held on a fugitive warrant while we're waiting to extradite them back to the next state. And extradition's been happening for many, many decades. So this is a process that was in existence then. So, wow, that was a choice
was not
that
what
was made.
Done.
That was a choice that was made, and they let him leave.
He did. He walked out, and Alaskan authorities did issue a warrant for his arrest immediately on March 15th, 1983. But he wasn't taken into custody right away in Texas. Less than 2 hours after the warrants were signed, 35-year-old Thomas Bunday was dead. He had slammed his motorcycle into a truck about 40 miles east of Wichita Falls.
Yeah, he
I love Jason's noise. Do that again.
I hate it. I hate that he unalived himself because, while there's maybe some karmic justice in that,
for the sake of
the victims'
families' closure,
and how many other more potential victims were there out there that we will never get to know about now. So I'm not a fan.
I'm not mad.
I wouldn't attend his funeral, but I'm not a fan of what he did.
No. Alaskan state troopers held a press conference but refused to say whether they believed the crash was intentional. One investigator called the sudden turn
coincidence.
One investigator called the sudden turn of events mind-boggling.
Really, was it?
No, not at all. This is what happens when you let somebody free who just confessed.
I easily understand what happened.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. The Texas Department of Public Safety initially treated the collision as an accident, though they acknowledged that they would also explore the possibility of a suicide. I know. Troopers Chris Stocker.
We're just looking at each other, shaking our heads like, the fuck.
Even in the 80s, were we this dumb?
No. We had good detective crime sleuthing skills
Texas,
in the
Did we, or did we just have Tom Selleck?
We didn't.
He was a fantastic PI. But he wasn't law enforcement. He was former law enforcement.
He was a former Navy SEAL.
I know, but he wasn't current.
Show.
I did watch the show, but I might have been distracted by the swimsuits.
And the mustache.
And the mustache.
The sexy mustachio.
You don't feel like that with me and my swimsuit and mustache.
I don't.
I don't see why.
Listen, that happens at my house.
I don't understand.
Oh, I have a pool.
Okay.
I'm going to require you to have more facial hair if you're going to be in a swimsuit, or vice versa. A swimsuit, yes.
I'm going to find one that doesn't fit anymore and just cram my fat ass into it.
I've seen you in a Speedo. It's fine.
Like before or after?
Are you going to have to look hard for a swimsuit that doesn't fit?
No, what she wants to say is that shouldn't be difficult.
They're all of the ones I have currently.
Right. Oh, anyway.
Just throw your wife's bikini bottoms on.
I'm not sure if it's...
And then throw them away if she doesn't want them back.
Right.
Ever.
Oh, I'm giving myself a migraine. Go ahead.
Troopers Chris Stockard and Jim McCann had already been in Texas since March 7th, 1983. And remember, it was March 15th that this accident happened. They said the warrants were finalized at 2 p.m. on March 15th, and by 3:15, he was gone. Stockard confirmed that Bunday was not under surveillance at the time of the crash. During the press briefing, the Alaskan investigators walked reporters through how Thomas Bunday had emerged as a suspect. His name first surfaced among thousands of possibilities generated from car registration checks tied to vehicle sightings near the crime scenes. There had been over 5,000 leads. We've worked over the past 2 to 3 years on them. Initially, other suspects looked stronger than him, especially when, remember, that the FBI profile really threw him off when it said he's not military. He's a single man, no kids, not married. Oh, single man and not married is the same thing, right? Like, no job. So
profilers aren't always right.
Obviously.
People can deviate.
Do you think when the police got the call for that there was an accident in the DOA that they showed up and they looked at him like,
hey, I know him.
Weird.
Just talked to him 20 minutes ago.
Like,
I hope at least one of them was like, I guess we should have held him and kept him in protective custody. You're being detained. Am I free to leave?
No. None of those officers in Texas were like, we definitely should have held him longer.
Honestly, Megan, what if it's a bunch of cases like this that made that now a new policy?
No.
I don't know.
It's not a new policy.
Well, in Texas, they didn't do it. You know what actually surprised me more than the fact that they let him go? That they let him go without putting him under surveillance.
Agreed.
That shocks me.
Maybe someone tail that guy so he doesn't kill anybody.
Maybe someone did.
No.
Maybe someone tailed him.
No one's going to. There you go.
They're not going to.
Thank you, Jason. No one's going to admit they were tailing him if he had an accident on the way home.
Okay. That's true. Because it's just that the officers reported that he was not under surveillance at the time of the crash.
As he's walking out and they're yelling, this guy's a serial killer who's leaving today.
Right.
Leaving today, which would be
because I don't have a warrant to arrest him yet.
I'm sure there's a couple guys like, well, I get off right now.
Right.
We are completely speculating, general audience.
Right. This is a joke.
In jest.
How I use sarcasm when I'm irritated with how an investigation went.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
Sure that would never
This type of stuff gives Judge Megan a rash.
And I told you I'm getting a migraine. You know how you get those dents in the back of your head when your brain is thinking too hard?
Yep.
No.
Mine's going to poke. I get it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Makes sense.
Another risk that I run if I try to think. So no, I don't.
Never mind then.
Oh, anyway. So the police said he's just not one that you'd look at as a mass murderer. He had no criminal record. He offered
so like a lot of serial killers?
I know. He had little in a way, like no way of a motive. And although he confessed to 5 murders, he continued to deny any involvement in the death of, I did write it down, 22-year-old Cassandra Goodwin. You know why I was confused? She went missing on March 22nd.
Okay.
So the day she went missing happened to also be the age of her at the time of her death.
Okay. This is the oldest victim.
Yes, and her body had been found in Hurricane Gulch off from Parks Highway about 150 miles south of Fairbanks. Investigators had long suspected that her case was connected to the others. After Thomas's fatal crash, McCann didn't hesitate to share his belief. It wasn't an accident. So he did at least eventually admit that. Evidence collected from his this is always hard for me to say, sorry, Burke Burnett home, and his impounded vehicle was sent back to Alaska. Forensic testing later confirmed that hairs found in his car belonged to victim Wendy Wilson. Now, I will say hair evidence back then, not strong. The next case we cover for the bonus episode is going to allude to all that. But ballistics matched ammunition from his vehicle to bullets recovered from the murder scene. So there you go, guys.
Well, more than one thing helps if you have just circumstantial evidence to build your case.
Yep. And then the final piece that just really concluded it for investigators. August 1986, one final confirmation surfaced. Doris O-Ring's skull was discovered in a remote area of the Air Force Base, right where Thomas said it would be.
Okay.
So there we go. He did it. Then he unalived himself to not be held accountable for his actions. And yes, Megan, there could be more. We don't know. Especially, he doesn't take credit for Cassandra, which is odd, but we've seen that before. We have seen serial murderers where they draw the line at a certain number that in their mind they feel makes them a total monster, right? I think for him,
you're right. We all have an imaginary monster line.
We do.
What's your monster number?
For him, it's 5. He wasn't willing to admit 6.
I gotta take my shoes off to count.
Okay.
But he wasn't willing to admit 6. Is it entirely possible?
Or her specifically.
That, I mean, it was 150 miles away from Fairbanks, whereas the rest
Maybe
were
it
on
was
the base
not
or around
him.
the base. I agree. Or it's very possible that it wasn't
Somebody
him.
killed their girlfriend and it got to be blamed on a serial killer.
Yeah.
And Thomas is like, listen, I'm a terrible fucker.
I would never.
But I did not
But I didn't
kill
do
her.
that.
She wasn't my type.
Yeah, and she was too old for me. She was 2 years older than my oldest victim.
Right.
I personally
But
think
the problem is, we'll
that's
never
the
know.
case. That exactly. And yeah, that's the hitch of it, right? But I am more likely to think that Cassandra wasn't his, just given the distance and whatnot. However, she was strangled and she was shot in the head.
And it's Alaska. Like 150 miles isn't a big road trip out there.
No, you're right. Because you're driving 4 hours to get to your nearest town.
Right.
And
so
that's
we
nothing
might as well
for
drive
them.
3 hours to go kill something.
Yeah, we have to go pick up groceries. It's 3.5 hour drive in.
Fair point. That's
Also,
a fair
we have to
point.
take our snowmobiles today.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
going to be 4.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But wasn't that an interesting case? Like, we
Very.
just don't get a lot of cases out of Alaska.
How did you run across it? Were you looking up Alaska cases specifically, or what led you down this rabbit hole?
No,
Alice?
I actually went down this because of the interlocked, the bonus episode that we're about to record.
Okay.
It's going to be a single episode, but it's 2 cases that are interlocked.
Oh.
And somehow this dude's name came up, not related at all to these cases, but in my searches, Bunday came up.
Okay.
And I misread it, of course, immediately. I was like, Thomas Bundy, like what the hell is? And so it was his name that captured me, but it really was during my research for the bonus
that is
episode.
a bizarre coincidence. Of the name.
Yeah. Ted Bundy,
Tom Bunday.
Yeah. And how did Ted Bundy? It was a
different first names. B-U-N-D-Y.
Yeah.
It's Ted Bundy.
Yeah, D-U, right?
B-U-N-D-Y.
Yeah.
D-Y. Yeah, see, this was
Like
B-U.
L.
This was B-U. Oh, right.
Married with
This
children.
was B-U-N-D-A-Y.
Yes.
Yep, Bunday. So I really was putting an emphasis on the day for you guys.
You did.
So that you would know
Successful.
that it's not Bundy like Ted Bundy. Like it's different, but very, very close. So yeah, do you want a wholesome brain bath for us after this?
Yes, because I know what you're going to give us.
Okay.
And I thought it was wholesome too. Why? Jason wasn't as...
Jason was really upset about this happening. I think
I
it's
didn't
because
think
his daughter's in theater.
So was I.
That and
I would
I've
have
got-
loved for that
I've
to happen
got-
to me.
I've got stupid cats.
Oh, stupid cat.
That doesn't surprise me. What you're about
That's
to
fair.
hear didn't shock me. I'm like, yeah, that's a cat.
That's a cat. So because I'm not going to be able to show you all the video. So what I'm going to
Oh,
just
God,
have
don't,
to
or
do.
we'd probably get sued.
Well, that's true. It was from NBC News. You maybe
Oh,
you all
God.
saw this on NBC News. I don't know.
You know, I like when NBC's come to that this is what they cover as top news stories.
Yeah. I don't know that it was top, but they
I bet it was. I've seen the news
did
lately.
it. Yeah. It says a stray cat, and it's actually a reel, but hold on. A stray cat stole the show during a performance of Romeo and Juliet in Turkey. And basically, guys, what happened is during the death scene of Romeo, he is laying there acting to be deader than a doornail on stage, and Juliet is crying over him, and there is a feral stray cat. Where the hell did the cat come from? I don't know. Ask Turkey. But
everywhere.
They're probably everywhere.
Perhaps, but this cat comes on stage and lays, it cradles the head of Romeo, and it starts pawing at his head while he's playing dead. I don't know if he's like, bro, you're okay, get up.
I'm wondering, that cat was probably like, are you dead?
Hey,
you dead, Mon?
No cat has ever cared whether the person is dead, even their owners.
Dead, Mon?
Sanka, you dead, Mon? If it's hungry, it cares.
Oh, God. That's from Cool Runnings.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Jason and I send that to each other when we haven't heard from each other in a while. We're like, Sanka, you dead, Mon?
You guys are hilarious. I love that movie reference. That's fantastic.
My favorite, though, is in the video. They get tired of the cat playing with dead Romeo's hair and face. Okay, he's full on batting at him.
Probably with claws.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So they end up, someone grabs Romeo. I'm assuming it's Juliet because she's the only one on stage with him, but we can't see it in the video. Grabs Romeo's feet and just gently tugs him away from the cat.
Pulls him a good 6 to 8 inches away from the cat, like just enough to move him, so maybe the cat will be like, oh.
And the cat jumped up and was like, oh, hey, oh shit, are we on right now? Like, oh, I thought this was rehearsal, guys. My bad.
We know that happened in Turkey because an American cat would have just given Romeo the poison to kill himself.
Right, exactly.
Well, and then it perches himself to watch the rest of the show.
It does. It just sits on stage. Yep. Front row, just watching Juliet bawl over dead Romeo
before she offs herself.
And I feel like the cat's like, bitch, you being pretty dramatic.
Right.
Like,
they're judgmental assholes.
I can hear his heartbeat.
And he was probably like,
bro's alive.
Like, he ain't dead. Why are you crying?
For sure. Yes, exactly.
Why are you crying?
Freaking humans. Yeah.
That's adorable, though.
It was
pets
cute.
And kids. They do the damnedest things.
They do.
Then she kills herself, and the cat's like, oh, that was unnecessary. But now I get to eat for a week.
Right. Then I'm like, did somebody take the cat home? Was this a stagehand's cat? And they're like, oh shit, Ralph, you're not supposed to be on there.
Got in a back door behind stage.
This is
very
the cat
possible
distribution system. This is how people end up with unintentional cats. Because one showed up, and now it's a star. And you have to take the star of Turkish Romeo and Juliet home.
The feline of the opera.
Yep.
Yes,
he's famous.
The feline of the opera.
He's famous everywhere. Turkey, now America. He's made America's NBC News because apparently we don't have anything else to report on. And you know what? I'm here for that. I would rather watch that shit.
The missed opportunities.
Than what's really going on in our world. So
At
cool,
Tukete.
cool. Oh my God!
I wonder what he'll be in next.
I was in that play.
What show will he do next?
Right. Aristocrats.
Or just cats.
I'm thinking.
Like, you overshot. You missed the easy fucking lob softball.
That's how my brain works.
I was gonna go with a Meowed Summer Night's Dream. Meowed Summer Night's Dream.
No, just cats. Jason just
cats.
wanted us to be basic bitches and just say cats.
You aren't surrounded by basic bitches,
we
honey.
were more creative, babe.
No, you were very, very rare bitches.
Extra. The word you're looking for is extra.
Extra.
You know what I prefer?
It's the opposite of basic.
Bad. I'm a bad bitch.
Baddies. Yeah.
Baddies.
Sure.
Oh, Lord.
And I look like Magnum with the stash.
Okay.
That wasn't nice. But you're right. We did make pretty far.
I'm sorry,
pretty
Jason,
hardcore.
if I hurt your feelings.
Fun of your stash. Did you like that
gotta
porn
have 'em to hurt
reference?
'em.
You gotta have them to hurt them.
Yeah.
You have feelings.
I know.
More than either one of us.
I missed what you just said because I was talking
about big baddies.
No, what
No,
Charnell just said.
I said something about hardcore. Something. I've already forgot. Fucking, I don't know.
Sounds
That
about
was
right.
Is that on
10
that? Is
seconds
that
ago.
on that?
When your podcast hosts are all over 40.
Is that on that one website you keep referring to?
This is a general audience episode.
We hope that you keep it curious.
And keep listening.
Just like that. I guess we're done. Till next time.
Bye-bye. But not mustache curious.
You always can end an episode, man.
Yeah.
I know how to finish.
Yeah, used to chase the tears in a different kind of grind, helping little ones leaving our old selves behind. Charnell, Jason, Megan, a trio strong and true, but the system wore us out, needed something fresh and new. So we flipped the script, found the mic and the beat. From deep investigations to stories bittersweet. Prosecutor, the judge, that's Megan on the mic. Charnell digs the dirt, makes sure the facts are right. Crime curious, yeah, that's the name we claim. Shaking our grief, fanning the curious flame. From global listeners to the brain bag we provide. Keep it curious, keep listening with nowhere to hide. Jason's got the wisdom and the jokes to make us smile. Keeps the energy flowing for every single mile. We dive into the dark where the mysteries reside, unraveling the truth with nowhere left to hide. Laws and evidence, Megan lays it down with grace, while Charnell's deep research sets the compelling pace. Crime curious, yeah, that's the name we claim. Shaking our grief, fanning the curious flame. From global listeners to the brain bag we provide. Keep it curious, keep listening, we know where to hide. Don't ask about the raccoons, some secrets we just keep. But every week we're digging secrets buried deep. For every mind that wonders, for every soul that seeks, we're here to break it down in our Crime Curious Speaks. Crime Curious, yeah, that's the name we claim. Shaking our grief,